Hello, YouTube! Welcome back. And hello, Twitch, that you're watching right now. Hello, everybody. We're back with another deck profile. We're going to be taking a look at what I like to call Super Smash Brothers. It is a straight-up Dragapult deck. No Dusknoirs. No smelly Dusknoirs in this deck whatsoever, but there's some good old friends. Everybody's invited. Everybody's invited to this one. We have Budew, we have Munkidori, we have Hawlucha, we have Genesect, we have Bloodmoon Ursaluna. Everybody's invited except Waluigi. Can't find Waluigi in this deck. So what makes this deck so unique? Okay, so we run a single Budew in this deck. A lot of Dragapults run two. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's fine just having the one. Mostly because we run TM Evolution in this deck. So, one unique factor in this deck is we do end up running TM Evolution. We have a 2 of in this list. And it allows to get through a number of things. Evolution Jammer is something that is starting to creep up in meta. I've been noticing people are really liking to use Bronzong. So, TM Evolution steps around Evolution Jammer, which obviously it's very important for our deck to be able to get to Dragapult to attack. So, that is something. Sylveon is another thing. We actually just beat a Sylveon deck, and check out that video as well if you have not already. We just beat a Sylveon deck with this one after being Angelited 15 times. We still managed to get our Dragapult out and attacking thanks to the wonders of TM Evolution. But that is not the only tech that we have in this deck right now. Obviously, Munkidori is very strong. I did run a 2 of Munkidori in previous iterations of my Dusknoir list. This one has a single Munkidori, mostly because I took inspiration from the top 4 Dragapult decks that were playing in Atlanta Regionals. And I want to give a shout out to Karis for giving me this grand idea. I took her energy line from her deck and applied it to mine here. So we have 1 Luminous, we have 1 Dark, 3 Psychic, and 2 Fire. I always thought to myself, I'm like, okay, I think that 8 energy is too much in this deck. I thought it was too much in this deck. And I'm like, 7 energy was fine, but I felt like I needed 1 more Dark or 1 more Fire, basically. I just needed access to 1 more Dark. But I didn't want to sacrifice Psychic or Fire for it. So I'm like, how can I do this? And then I looked at Carice's list, and she ran this energy line, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. So shout outs to her for coming up with this and her testing group. So the 3 Psychic is great because you have access to Munkidori's attack with the Psychic and Dark energies. So you're potentially using more Psychic than anything else. Fire energy you're using less of because of your Dragapult. So going down to a 2 of Fire energy is not bad because you have Luminous energy, which can go on your Monkey. It can go on your Dragapult. It can be a Psychic energy. It can be a Dark energy. It can be a Fire energy. Everyone's happy. Everyone's pleased. So phenomenal flexibility on the energy line allows us to do some magic here. We can use Mind Bend. We can use Adrenabrain, which this card right here helped us amazingly against Sylveon, but it also allows us to use Phantom Dive, right? Because it allows us to split the 2 energies depending on what we have available to us. We can use that. In a pinch, I guess if you really wanted to, you could use Wing Attack. Go for it. That's a game-winning play. Go for it. And in a pinch, you can also use Magnetic Blast. Sure, why not? We'll go crazy. There you go. So it allows every Pokemon to attack with the Luminous energy. Some Pokemon would be better used for that than others, for obvious reasons, but the options are there. You know, you have a fighting attacker, you have a steel attacker in a pinch. Hey, it's there for you. Go for it. I won't judge. We go for the 3 of Buddy Poffin in this list, mostly because we're basically just grabbing Dreepies. Dreepies and Budew. That's the only 2 Pokemon that we want to grab. We don't want to use it on Hawlucha because Hawlucha does not get the benefit of flying entry. If you use it from the deck, you have to place it from your hand. So Buddy Poffining Hawlucha is sad Umbreon times. Counter Catcher, 2 of. So we have plenty of gusting in this deck. We have 2 Counter Catcher, we have 2 Boss, we have 1 Prime Catcher. I know when it's a Prime Catcher in Dragapult, you're not using Unfair Stamp, you're not using Crystal. I will give my spiel about Prime Catcher. 100% of the time when I use Prime Catcher, I get what I want out of it. 100% of the time. 1,000 times out of 1,000 times if I play Prime Catcher, it is doing exactly what I want it to do. I cannot say the same for any other ACE spec in this deck. Unfair Stamp might stick. It may get my opponent disrupted. It may give my opponent everything they want to. But it is not a 100% guarantee that I will get exactly what I want with it every single time I play it. Same thing with Crystal. Crystal is good one time on one Pokemon. Awesome. It gets shut off by Tool Jammer. It gets shut off by... it can't play it against a Genesect or certain things like that, which I'll get to in a moment. But I will not be able to use... Crystal effectively all the time. And does it get me a Phantom Dive? The answer is no. It can get me closer to a Phantom Dive, but the only thing Crystal can guarantee me is a Jet Headbutt. And so will 100% of the time when I play Crystal get me what I want it? No. The answer is no. Will not get me a Phantom Dive every single time that I play it. So therefore, the only thing that does do what I want it to do every single time without fail that I play it is Prime Catcher. That's why Prime Catcher is in this deck. It's also because of Bloodmoon Ursaluna. Because this guy, this hefty boy has a 3 retreat cost, and it's very painful when that thing is stuck in the active for far too long. But more on that later. So we have the Energy Search over Vessel. There are too many cards in this deck that are valuable that I do not want to discard. So Energy Search allows me to go out and just grab a single energy without cost. So it's an item card. Obviously, you can only play it if you're not item locked, but go out and grab me my Fire Energy and grab my Psychic. I can grab my Dark Energy, whatever energy I want to for any of my single retreat cost Pokemon. I can only play 1 energy per turn anyways, and it doesn't cannibalize Crispin. So Crispin, it can actually help me with Crispin because I can see how many energies are in the deck, and I can decide if I want to take a Dark, if I want to take a Fire, if I don't have any Psychic, if I have to take something else, etc. So it can help me with Crispin, and it doesn't cannibalize Crispin so much as what Earthen Vessel would do. 2 of Nest Ball, just pretty good. It's general Pokemon search. 2 line of Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, along with the 3 of Buddy Poffin. Plenty of ways to get Pokemon out. 2 Night Stretchers, 1 Super Rod has been phenomenal. The Super Rod to get multiple things back into the deck. If you want to get your energies back, obviously, for Crispin, get your Fire and your Psychic back in, and a Dark if you want to, or a Drakloak or a Dreepy or some other Pokemon. You can Crispin right off of a Super Rod. It's a pretty valuable combination together. Switch in the deck. Switch helps, again, with the aforementioned Bloodmoon Ursaluna. But the one thing that I will say that Dragapult struggles from is land drops. Yes, a magic term in Pokemon. Land drops, energy drops. You want to be attaching energy every single turn, and you want to have access to your energy every single turn as much as possible. You do not want to attach and retreat and throw that energy away. You do not want that, because if you're removing energy from the field, then you're not getting closer to Phantom Dive, and ultimately you want to be Phantom Diving. You want to be attacking constantly. You want pressure with Dragapult constantly. So aside from item locking your opponent and hoping the item lock sticks for 17 turns while you set up all of your energy on your board and then retreat for free, this is another way to be economical about your energy cost. Don't throw away your energy as much as possible. Use your items to retreat. Use your free retreat pivots to retreat. Use your Prime Catcher to retreat. Different ways to retreat means you keep your energy, which means you get to attack more often, which means more damage on board. Fun stuff. We love that. Artazon at a 1 of. Again, I've talked about this in a previous video. In my Gardevoir video, I talked about moving to 1 Artazon in my lists because a lot of people are using Artazon to get around item lock. People have to learn how to play around item lock. One of these ways is playing Artazon. Non-item search for Pokemon is going to become very important very soon. Stadium bumps are going to become very important very soon. People are going to figure that out. So that allows us to not have to play 2 Artazon. We don't want to play Jamming Tower in this list because we are very tool heavy in this list because of Genesect. So it allows us to have options and explore different options for stadiums. I've opted for Beach Court in this list. Beach Court allows Pokemon that are basic in play to have 1 less retreat cost. This has a myriad of uses in Dragapult, and I will explain why. So we also run Rescue Board, which means that whatever Pokemon Rescue Board's attached to, their retreat cost is reduced by 1. Also, if I believe they're 30 HP less, it has no retreat cost. So if we attach a Rescue Board to Bloodmoon Ursaluna, and there is a Beach Court on the field, Bloodmoon Ursaluna is all of a sudden not retreating for 3, it is retreating for a single energy, which is amazing, let me tell you. Instead of having to Crispin and attach and pray to Arceus, Bloodmoon Ursaluna can just be a single energy retreat in a pinch, especially if they're getting targeted and locked in, or if you start with it on your first turn. Very, very economical, able to get Ursaluna out of the active for either 1 or 2 energy between Beach Court and Rescue Board. Phenomenal. Very good. It also makes it so that your Munkidori can retreat for free, that your Dreepies can retreat for free, makes it so your Fezandipiti can retreat for free, or your Genesect can retreat for free. So it's an additional way. Beach Court, it can bump a stadium, can make your retreat costs reduced by 1 for a bunch of Pokemon, which means you don't have to spend an energy to retreat your Dreepy to get your Budew into the active. It means that you don't have to spend an energy to retreat your Genesect if it gets gusted up and stuck in the active. If you don't have access to your Rescue Board is phenomenal on Genesect, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But the other caveat behind Beach Court, one of Dragapult's biggest matchups, one of the most difficult matchups. Thanks. That's my bad. Whoops for that follow. Appreciate it. Beach Court brings the Gardevoir matchup a little bit back to even here, and I'll explain why. Gardevoir, as an avid Gardevoir player myself, you'll see a lot of my videos are about Gardevoir as well. I play Gardevoir extensively, and I play Dragapult extensively. So I know as a Gardevoir player, one of the main ways that does not require items, if I'm under item lock, to get energy in the discard pile is by retreating. So either put Gardevoir in the active with an energy on it and then turbo to Gardevoir, you Psychic Embrace, and then retreat to get that extra energy in the discard pile. Or if there's a monkey in the active and it's like, oh, I have energy in hand but nothing in the discard pile, so I'll attach a Psychic to get that Psychic in the discard pile so I can get more damage on board, so I can use that Adrenabrain. That's integral, and that is a way that Gardevoir can get a lot of energy. That can be the difference between 4 and 5 energy, the difference between 270 and 300 damage, right? That's huge. That's the difference between a knockout of a Dragapult and whiffing it by 30 damage. That is important. Beach Court makes it so that basic Pokemon on both sides of the field don't have a retreat cost, or have retreat cost reduced by 1. Drifloon has a 1 retreat cost. Breamtail has a 1 retreat cost. Klefki, 1 retreat cost. Fluttermane, 1 retreat cost. Munkidori, 1 retreat cost. Kirlia, well, it doesn't matter because it's not a basic. But you get what I mean. Fezandipiti, 1 retreat cost. Right? All of these Pokemon, Clefairy, 1 retreat cost. All of these Pokemon all of a sudden have the retreat costs wiped out, and that means that they cannot anymore attach and then throw that energy away for retreat. If they're attaching energy to basics with Beach Court in play, it means they cannot get that energy in the discard pile very easily anymore. So it slows down Gardevoir in a way that they were not thinking or expecting, and that has actually been significant. So Beach Court has multifaceted use in Dragapult, and all of them are beneficial. They're all strictly beneficial to Dragapult and what you're trying to do. One card that I will say has been a very welcome inclusion has been Brock Scouting. Brock Scouting in Dragapult, I think, is a better addition to the deck than to Jacq. I think Jacq is very good. I think splitting your 2 Jacq count between 1 Jacq, 1 Brock's, the Jacq and Brock connection, right, I think is very important in Dragapult because Jacq can grab you your evolutions, but Brock can grab you your basics. And through item lock, having the option to grab basic Pokemon without having access to a stadium or without using an item card because you're under item lock, Brox is amazing for that because Brox can grab you your Ursaluna, can grab you your Genesect, it can grab you your Fezandipiti, it can grab your Hawlucha, it can grab your Munkidori, it can grab 2 Dreepies, it can act like a Buddy Poffin for any of your basic Pokemon, or if you have all of your Pokemon set up, all your basics set up, and you're just missing that Drakloak, it can go out and grab your Drakloak. It can grab your Dragapult. Anything that you want. It gives you options. Jacq can only grab you your Drakloaks or Dragapults, which is great. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're in a situation where you need access to basics and you're item locked and you're staring down the barrel of a Clefairy, Brock Scouting can help you out big time. Very good addition to the deck. 2 Crispins, 4 Ionos gives us a lot of hand disruption. Very, very nice. One thing that I saw in the top 4 of the Dragapult lists from Atlanta was Penny, a 1 of Penny. I am actually tempted to go an additional Penny in this list. However, Penny has been phenomenal, not only for removing liabilities that get stuck in the active, like Bloodmoon Ursaluna, but also repurposing your Pokemon and your tools. So say you're early game and you have to play Genesect. Now Genesect is a phenomenal card in itself because if this Pokemon has a tool card attached to it, even if Jamming Tower is in play, it does not stop this because Jamming Tower removes the effect of the tool, but not the fact that a tool is attached. So Ace Nullifier makes it so your opponents cannot play any Ace Spec cards at all from their hand. They can't play Prime Catcher. They can't play Secret Box. They can't play Brilliant Blender. They can't play Precious Trolley. They can't play Sparkling Crystal. They can't play Pokevital. They can't play any Ace Spec cards at all. Anything that has this, they will not be able to play it. It will be a dead card until they deal with Genesect. So as long as Genesect has a tool attached to it, it is phenomenal. Now, if you start the game, the ideal card to put on it would be Rescue Board, because then not only are you shutting off Ace Spec cards, but you're giving yourself a free pivot. So Genesect will have a free retreat cost at any point in time. Now, all of a sudden, your Prime Catcher becomes more valuable because you can catch something up, put Genesect active, retreat for free. There you go, free pivot. You don't have to put Budew down for a 30 HP liability. No, you just have an extra pivot in the deck. But say you don't have access to Rescue Board. Say Rescue Board's prized. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. The only card you have is Experience Share. That's unfortunate because I really want that for my Drakloak. However, you don't have to worry because Penny can pick up your Pokemon and all cards attached to it as long as it's a basic Pokemon. So Penny allows you to play things like Luxurious Cape, which gives any Pokemon without a rule box 100 extra HP. I prefer Luxurious Cape over Bravery Charm because Luxurious Cape can then protect your Drakloak as well as your other Pokemon, because Drakloak will then get 190 HP. Very tough for that to be hit by, which almost guarantees a Dragapult. And then if you get Dragapult in play, it removes the extra prize condition. You lose the extra HP, but it just remains a 2 prize Pokemon instead of a 3 prize Pokemon. That's fine. But your Budew can become 130 HP. And then if you don't want the 130 HP Budew sitting around for 2 prizes, you can Penny. You can pick up Budew. You can pick up Cape. You can repurpose it and put it on Munkidori. Give Munkidori 210 HP. That's a pretty good one too, isn't it? Right? Genesect can get 210 HP. All of that fun stuff. You can use it on Dreepy to protect a Dreepy against Terrabox. Wellspring Mask cannot hit for 170 HP, so Dreepy can survive being torrential pumped. Very important. So using Penny to repurpose your tools, and especially if you have an Experience Share early game on Genesect and you want to keep locking their Ace Spec, you can Penny the Genesect, grab your Experience Share back up, put the Genesect back down, put down a Rescue Board on it. It gives you options, lots of flexibility in this list right now. TM Evolution, as we explained earlier, that's the reason why we only have 1 Budew in this list, because we actually would like to TM Evo as early as possible, getting our Dragapults out, getting our Drakloaks out. There is no rare candy in this list, so it is paramount to get the Drakloaks out as quickly as possible to give ourselves the option to get into Dragapult, give ourselves that extra draw, etc. TM Evo can do that. It's very nice to TM Evo if you're stuck in the active with Bloodmoon Ursaluna. May as well make it useful by slapping a TM Evo on it, right? You can TM Evo with Munkidori. You can TM Evo with another Dreepy. You have 2 more Dreepies on the bench. Hawlucha, whatever you fancy, whatever you'd like to do, wherever that energy fits best. TM Evolution add a 2 of means that you get around the evolution jamming decks, all of that fun stuff. Get around the Sylveon. Go check out that video. That was a pretty good battle. Get around the Sylveon Angelites because you constantly can get your stuff back in, get your stuff up. You can get your stuff re-evolved back in the game. So overall, very slim list for evolutions. So you only have to focus on evolving your Dragapult. All of your resources are being put into evolving your Dragapult. This one runs a 3 of Dragapult. I know some people are more comfortable running 2. I find that the 3 of Dragapult shores up the match against the Frostlass Munkidoris a little bit more, because having 4 Drakloaks on the bench means that if you only have 2 Dragapults, you're constantly going to have a source of damage across 2 of them. Having a 3rd Dragapult cuts off their damage supply, and you have a bit more time to manage that with your Munkidori, especially if you're going to get something like TM Devoed. Not having a bunch of damage on your Dragapults is very important, especially into the TM Devo play, as we'd be able to survive it. So has a fairly good matchup into a number of decks so far. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Been pretty straightforward. It's been playing through item lock without any issues whatsoever. One thing I wanted to mention in the previous match, the previous video that I forgot to, Munkidori. So if you are finding yourself in an item lock war, obviously Budew versus Budew is interesting. We have the Luxurious Cape to give our Budew a massive edge. However, if you don't have access to Budew easily, but you have access to Munkidori and they have a charm on their Budew, remember that you can Mind Bend for 60 damage. You can confuse their Budew, and if they whiff a turn because if they have Bravery Charm and you use Mind Bend and they flip tails, they knock themselves out. If they have a Luxurious Cape, they continue going, but if they flip tails, they do not item lock you. So Munkidori can be a very valuable friend in an item lock war. Just keep that in mind if you don't have access to your own Budew. If it's prized, if you're going into an item lock situation, Munkidori becomes a very viable attacker, especially with the Dark Energy, the Psychic Energy, and the Luminous in this deck allows Monkey to become an option in that exchange. So if you've tried this out, the link in the description below. I'm going to have the deck list available for you. If you've not already joined my Discord, you can join my Discord. I'll have the link in the description for that as well. It'll be posted there. Let me know how this deck ran for you. Let me know how it goes. I'm interested to see what matchups you guys go against, if you have any luck with those. Until next time, thank you so much for listening to this little deck profile, and we will catch you in the next video. Appreciate all of you. See you next time.